remember the time when you dead or alive? Is it your born day or the day that you died?
Peace, peace, my friends. How y'all feel out there? It's your host, Kool can of Get Your Mind Right podcast, and I got an extremely special guest with me this evening. We grew up together, Lincoln Heights. Y'all always hear me talk about it, Zone 15, Exit 13. We played sports together, football, baseball, basketball. Let's give it up for Mr. Ron Carpenter, Super Bowl champion. Let's go. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good, my brother. Pleasure being on here with you, man. Miss seeing you. I love being here.
Yeah, man. Hey, this is beautiful. Technology is wonderful. I remember some years ago, you were selling something similar to this. You remember those little the TV phone things?
Video phones, yes, sir.
Hey, man, that was what 20-something years ago now. How long ago was that?
It was a big old clunky phone. They had a
Yeah.
video screen on it. Now we got it in the palm of our hands with this little cell phone. So
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Where are you living at now?
I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Cool.
Actually, more specifically, Carmel, Indiana is the
Carmel, Indiana.
suburb.
That's a football town, ain't it? It's a little football down there, right?
Yes, sir. Carmel Greyhounds. Check us out.
Let's go. Speaking of football, man, I mentioned, hit on a little bit, Super Bowl champion. Let's talk about a little bit football. Give them some of your stats, brother. Let them know who you are.
So, I was a walk-on at Miami of Ohio. We'll go straight to that part and maybe come back to the high school stuff a little bit later.
Okay.
My successful stuff, I was a walk-on at Miami of Ohio. Redshirted in the spring of that freshman year. Terry Hepner was the DB coach. He said, "Hey, they're not going to use your receiver, but I think you're a great athlete. Come over here. If you get into too deep by the end of spring ball, you can earn a scholarship." Did that, walked on, became the starter. Became the all-time leading pass interceptor with 16 interceptions in Miami history. Had a couple other records too, and then was actually undrafted. So it was like being a walk-on again, undrafted to the NFL, made the Vikings. From there, moved around to a couple teams, but won a Super Bowl with the 99 Rams, greatest show on turf, Super Bowl 34. And then again, from there, by the time I hit 30, the Super Bowl year, I was 30. So they kind of weed you out of the NFL if you're not a dominant starter or something like that. So played arena ball in the Arena League. We went to the championship 2 years in a row. Didn't win it, but got close. Played in the XFL. Won the Super Bowl with the LA Extreme. Led the league in interceptions in one of those years. And then also I finished up with, I didn't finish up with, but I played in NFL Europe in between one of my stints in the NFL when we went to the championship game. Again, I led the NFL Europe in interceptions that season I was over there. So had a lot of success, continued to play, even though I couldn't stay in the NFL, still wanted to play, still had some things to prove. So I ended up playing 13 years total, but six in the NFL and the rest in NFL Europe, XFL, and the Arena League.
Hey, man, we're going to give it up to you on that for real.
Thank you.
Those accolades that you just rattled off, phenomenal.
Thank you.
I'm fortunate, right? I'm fortunate to know you personally, fortunate enough to see you grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen you play from Little League to high school,
Yep.
to college, to seeing you, man, overseas playing, man, NFL, arena football. You know what I mean? I've supported you along the way.
Yes,
And
sir.
I say this wholeheartedly. I'm extremely proud of you, man.
Thank you, brother.
Not just because of the accomplishments. I'm proud because I was able to witness you overcome adversity. How were you able to walk on? You know what I mean? Not being the star initially, but forcing it on them, man. Turning yourself into a star, making them recognize and respect you, man. How'd you do that?
So, and I'll say, I left out one thing. I am also in the Hall of Fame at Miami of Ohio.
That's right.
Class of 2016 or 17, something like that. So Forgot
I
about
got
that.
to clap on that too again.
No
Clap
doubt.
on that.
No doubt.
Hey,
But the actual, it all came from literally. From fifth grade, 10 years old. That's when I started spending majority of my time in Lincoln Heights, Zone 15. Prior to
word.
that, one of my grandparents, my father's side, they lived in Mount Healthy.
Okay.
And when I first got into sports prior to 10 years old in Zone 15, I was in Mount Healthy a lot. So I ended
Yeah.
up playing football for the Northside KFC Rebels.
Yes.
My other grandmother's house was right around the corner. When I was 6 years old, I hadn't met y'all yet. So
Right.
when I was 6 years old, I was playing ball over there. And
Mhm.
over there, I was one of the best players. Um, so I was good, but I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't developing drive, determination, and all that. It came pretty easy. But
Mhm.
then at 10 years old, we moved out to Lincoln Heights with my grandmother on my mother's side. And that's
Yeah.
when I met y'all. That's when I
Yeah.
started playing basketball with the Lincoln Heights Tigers, with
Yeah.
all the little league teams there. So
Yeah.
basketball, baseball, um, and I wasn't the best when I came over and played with y'all.
Nice.
There were countless number of players that were better than me, faster than me, stronger than me. But I never gave up. Like y'all were
No.
my boys. I ended up going to fifth grade, Robert E. Lucas. I went to school with y'all. Um, we played toss up tackle, what we call kill the man. Other places
Kill
around the country, they call it. A lot of my development I got just from starting to play ball with y'all in resets at Robert E. Lucas. Uh,
Yeah.
down in the heights at the bottom of the hill. Just all my drive and all that came from playing with y'all. I was the last man. I was the last man off the bench in basketball. I was a pinch runner. I was fast, but I
Right.
couldn't hit. But I couldn't hit. So I was a pinch runner in baseball. You know what I
Right.
mean? We go to the Little League World Series. I wasn't going to see the plate, but I got in
Yeah.
to still go from first base to second. Um,
Exactly.
and I learned. I went from being the best player in Mount Healthy to just an average player. And with the way we grew up, you don't want to be average. You better get your mind right. You better get your game right. Get your skills intact.
Right.
So
Right.
I watched y'all. I learned from y'all. I got my toughness from playing ball with y'all, whether it was basketball court or the baseball field. I didn't play football with y'all because I've been playing football since I was 6 with Northside, and my mom didn't want me to switch.
Right.
So, so imagine going to school with y'all, playing
Yeah. You.
baseball and basketball, but during football season, I'm in class with y'all, and then I go
Right.
to football practice. I got to go with them, and then when we play on Saturday, y'all give me the business at the weigh-in.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right.
So
Right. Right.
a lot of I had something to prove because I'm going to school with and I'm interacting on a daily basis with guys who are better than me.
Right.
So my drive it was like the little brother and the big brothers. I'm going to get to their level at some point in time. I
Yeah.
progressively got better and better. Um, the summer before our senior year, I
Mhm.
was slated to be one of the starting outside, down safety, the rover, whatever you want to call us. And we're playing basketball somewhere in Wyoming. We would go around playing older guys on the basketball court, 5-on-5, whatever.
Mhm.
And last play of the game, going for a layup. I make the layup. We win the game, but somebody pushed me. I come down. I tear my meniscus.
Yeah.
2
And
weeks.
I wasn't there. I heard about it,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. And
Yeah.
2 weeks
Terrible.
before, 3 weeks before two-a-days start,
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I
Yep.
show up on crutches, and Coach Mancuso goes off, right? But we tried to get me ready. I get ready by the first game against Centerville, but I still couldn't move without pain. So I
Right.
wasn't as fluid as I needed to be. Mancuso didn't play. He saw that. All right, get him out of there. Put Lamont Calhoun in. Lamont starts the rest of the season. And Mancuso puts me back on the offensive side at wide receiver.
Mhm.
It devastated me, but it taught me something. It taught me resilience because I didn't play. I got in maybe the last drive of a game at wide receiver. Uh, Coach Mancuso told Billy Leach, hey, don't put him in, all that. But Billy Leach would sneak me in every now and again towards the end of the game. So I
Mhm.
knew I could play. I had a chip on my shoulder to prove I could play. So when it came time, no scholarship offers, when it came time to walk on, Ollie Smith, one of our counselors, Obviously, he told me, he said, hey, you can walk on up there. You might have some success. You got the academics. I took his word. I went up there and I bought that drive and that grit that I learned from my classmates and my guys in Lincoln Heights. I took that with me to Miami of Ohio, and it worked out. It worked out, and I became the all-time leading pass interceptor up there. So you guys taught me. I learned from you guys.
Hey, all I know, Ron, like I said, all of that stuff was, I witnessed it.
Yeah.
And the one thing that really, really stood out, it still stands out to this day, is that you were one of the first people I knew who had knee surgery in high school.
Yep.
Back then, the technology wasn't what it is today. You could have probably been out a couple of weeks now. You know, the technology, they're going in, they scope you up and you're done. But I remember you walking around with that fat knee. How was your mentality at that moment, knowing that your knee was injured and you couldn't play?
Yeah, you know, we come from a culture where, you know, Black people don't get counseling and seek therapy.
Right.
So my mental was not right. Depression, not full-blown depression. I was a happy dude. I just wasn't happy on Friday nights because I wasn't playing. So, you know, we went in, we only lose one game. Everybody's celebrating, but I'm still sad because I didn't get to play. And my knee ain't right yet. My knee didn't really get right until week 7. You know what I mean? We played a 10-game regular season. Week 7, it was right, but by that time, it was too late. Lamont Calhoun was killing it at the rover spot. Defense was killing it. Monster. And the defense was killing it. Offense was killing it. So there was no space. So that led me to becoming depressed. And, you know, just everybody yucking it up. We having a great season. You know, I'm like, yeah. But when I get home, you know, I'm depressed and sad about it. So I enjoyed it because we won the state championship our senior year. But I didn't feel like I was a part of it. So that also motivated me. It pissed me off, right? And what I learned from my mom was, if you know you can do it, no matter what everybody else says, go out and prove it. Don't ask for it, go take it. So when my opportunity came, you know, I walked on. I had the academics to get there. I knew I was going to make the team as a walk-on because I wasn't going to quit. The first week of practice, we didn't practice with the team. They ran us. It was like 75 walk-ons. They were only going to keep 25. So they ran us until 50 quit.
Yeah,
50 of them quit. And then by the time I graduated my 5th year, there were only 3 of us remaining from that original 25 that they kept. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So and all 3 of us ended up on scholarship. I got on scholarship first, and then the other 2 ended up getting on scholarship 1 or 2 years later. So, you know, it's been an uphill battle from the time that I was smaller, 10 years old, coming to Lincoln Heights, all the way through proving myself in college. And then, you know, I started to peak and do well, but then it was an uphill battle again because I didn't get drafted and I was a free agent to the NFL. But I knew how to make a team. I knew how to go in, focus, lock in, and I did the same thing. When I was a free agent, I locked in. I wasn't going to let anybody tell me that I wasn't good enough, and I went out there and took a job. And that was my mindset and my goal. I wasn't up late playing video games. I went to sleep, studied my playbook, go out that morning, lock in. Was always first in drills, sprints, all that. I made sure they noticed who I was. Did the same thing at Miami.
What was your first NFL team that you played for?
My first year, the Minnesota Vikings. So I was a free agent, signing to the Vikings, made the team and loved it, man. I was up there with Chris Carter. He knew who I was. I was tripping. I went up to him, hey, Mr. Chris Carter, I'm Ron Carpenter. I went to Princeton High School. Our schools were rivals. Man, Carp, I know who you are. He had just met me, and he called me Carp. You know what I mean? And only people who I grew up with called me Carp. So it was real cool. He was real welcoming. And that was my first squad. Benny Green, head coach, Tony Dungy, defensive coordinator. It was a blast.
Yeah. And how long were you with Minnesota? And then what was your second team after that?
I was with Minnesota for a season. And my second team was the Cincinnati Bengals. I came back home.
Right.
And we weren't very good, but I was back home. I was at the crib. I was playing with the Bengals. I saw my mom, my sisters, my family, my boys. You know,
Yeah.
I bought a place out in Fairfield, and I was showing up at Fat Tuesdays out there at Forest Fair Mall when they were
Yeah.
still doing that. It was great. We weren't very good at all. Milt was on that team, Milt Stiegel.
Yeah.
He had
Shout out to Milt.
shout out to Milt. He had come out of Miami a year before me, so he had already been on the team for a year. So it was heaven, man. Like I said, the only thing was we didn't win. I think we were like 3-13, but it was great coming back playing for the hometown Bengals. And people ask me to this day, you played for 4 different teams. Who was your favorite team? I was like, well, my favorite time was with the Rams because we won the Super Bowl. But
Right.
my favorite team is the Bengals. Still my favorite team to this day.
Yeah. You had teammates, hometown teammates on that squad with you.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite teammate to play with?
That's a good one. Probably Marshall Falk. And here's why with the Rams.
Man, that's dope. Talk about it.
Here's the reason why. His nickname is Rush. That's because he was such a great running back.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably Marshall Falk because with the Rams, you couldn't on the defensive side of the ball, you couldn't touch Marshall Falk. You couldn't touch Kurt Warner. You couldn't touch Isaac Bruce, Oz Hakeem, Torrey Holt, Tony Horn, Ricky Prohl. You couldn't touch them. And if you knock them down or something, just by accidentally tripping them up, you was about to catch it from the offensive coordinator. Well, Marshall, he went 100%. Marshall was a quiet dude. He ain't braggadocious. He ain't pointing to himself talking about I'm the man. He was just going to shake you out your drawers, get to the end zone, turn around, run back, do it again.
Yeah.
What I realized when I was playing with him, like I'm playing against one of the greatest running backs to ever play the game.
Right.
Hence, he's in the Hall of Fame now.
Right.
And if you think about it, that whole offense, we were playing against some of the greatest receivers in the league.
Yeah. Right.
So I enjoyed that, but especially him because it made me better. I figured if I could, it wasn't no tackling him in practice. You had to tag off. I figured if I got into a football position where I could tag him off and be there, if we were tackling, actually be close to being able to make the tackle, I'm making myself better. So Marshall Falk was my favorite player to play with because he challenged me because he was the best. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I got to get the longest to best every day.
Stories like that, they make me smile, like genuinely, because to hear you say those words that you played football with Marshall Falk. You know what I mean? You were in the locker room with these guys, training with these guys. And it's awesome to know that like we live through you. You know what I mean? Through your stories and stuff like that. So we definitely appreciate you sharing that.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, man, big time. School wise, give me one of your most memorable high school moments, college moments, and then a memorable NFL moment. Your 3 favorite.
High school. This is gonna sound funny, and it's gonna bring up one of our brothers who's deceased. But Shane Curry.
Yeah.
2 a days. 2 a days. We go in the gymnasium, take a nap in between that first and second practice. And we're gonna bring up another brother, Skip Hun. Right?
Yeah.
So the juniors and seniors are sleeping, on the mats or whatever at one end of the gymnasium.
Was it in the gym or the cafeteria?
I think we were in the gym this day.
Okay.
And I'm walking down. I'm just walking next to Skip, just walking. I ain't said nothing to the upperclassmen.
Yeah.
Skip joking around, talking to him a little bit, out of pocket, playing with him. And I turned my head. I didn't look. Shane, 2 other people. I can't remember who they are, but they were all big. They were all big defensive lineman type builds.
Right.
All I know is I felt myself levitate, see the roof of the gymnasium, and then laying down on the mat. Somebody had scooped me up, slammed me because Skip was talking trash to the upperclassmen as they was trying to take a nap. So that's
probably Lucius and them, Shane.
Yeah. I don't know who it was, but once I got dumped, I got up and ran to the other end of the gymnasium. So that's one of my favorite moments because at that point, I think we're freshman or sophomore, probably sophomores. Sophomores.
Yeah, y'all sophomores. I was freshman that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, that was my introduction. Like, number one, person high school football is serious. Number two, don't mess with them dudes. They the real deal. And number three, notice who you walking with when you going down in the dungeon.
They ain't officially initiate you then? Did you get initiated?
That was my initiation. I knew not to
That
go
was
back down.
it?
That was it. It was a wrap. They didn't hear nothing else from me. So that's my high school memory. Yes, winning the state championship was great. That's a memory. But again, I kind of depressed. I didn't feel like I was really a part of it. But that part right there, that was my initial introduction to the class of '85, the class of '86, and what they was all about. So that was awesome. College, I have two, but I'll talk about the last memory. Once I got through my first 2 years as a starter, I was 2 interceptions away from breaking the record. So my first year as a starter, I didn't have any picks up in Miami. My second year, I had 7. My third year, I had 7, 14 picks. The record was 15. I needed pick 1 more to tie and 2 to break it. My 5th year, I got the first interception the second game of the season. So I'm tied with the record at 15. I'm like, I got 10 more games, 11 more games, whatever it is, to break the record. I got it.
Right.
Didn't get another interception for the rest of the year. People started throwing away from me. I was first team all league 2 years in a row. So they stopped throwing my direction.
Yeah.
We're the last game of the season. We're not playoff bound. We're not bowl bound. Because back then you had to win the MAC to make it to a bowl game. It wasn't all these other the Big Daddy Bowl or whatever they are. We didn't have Little Caesars Bowl. We didn't have all that. We're playing Western Michigan. It is fourth quarter, and I'm on the sideline talking to my other safety, my teammates. I got to get this pick. I got to break this record. I ain't gonna know what to do with myself if I don't break this record. We're in cover 2. I tell Coach Hep, I said, Coach Hep, go to cover 2. He's like, why? We were winning the game. Winning the game wasn't the issue. It was how long I was going to be in the game before he pulled me out or before the clock ran out. I said, Coach, don't take me out. I got to break this record. So I asked him to put us in cover 2. Most of my picks came in cover 2. And in cover 2, I knew if they sent a tight end down the middle of the field, I always played the opposite side of the tight end. I was in the boundary. Tight end normally goes to the field. So if they did it, I knew I was going to be able to sneak in and get a pick. And sure enough, they tried to get that right down the seam. I read it. I vacated my half of the field, ran over, jumped in front of him, got the pick, caught it. The referee was like, here you go, hand me the ball. I ran off the field with the ball in both hands like this, like I was carrying the football, ran to the bench, sat there with it, turned around, showed the ball to my mom in the stands, and that was it. I still got it to this day. It's not down here. It's we moved not too long ago, and it's still in storage. I got to get all my trophies, but I still have that ball in my trophy case to this day.
That's dope, man, right there.
I've had the record for, I'm still the all-time leading passer. So I've had it for 32 years now.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And tell us your favorite NFL moment.
Hands down, winning the Super Bowl.
Dope. How was that experience?
Next to having my 4 sons and being married the first time to our classmate, Sherry, and then being married the second time. Next to those events, winning the Super Bowl was one of the greatest feelings I've ever had in my life. Imagine being a football player from the age of 6, playing with some of the greatest Little League, playing against some of the greatest Little League competition, and then playing with those guys in high school, going undefeated as 8th graders, going undefeated as 9th graders, as freshmen, JV ball. I think we went undefeated. We may have lost 1. I can't remember. And then when we get to our senior year, we lose 1 game and win a state championship. That was awesome. Now imagining doing it against the greatest talent on the earth in the NFL, getting paid to do what you're doing, having fun, playing a game that you've been playing since you were 6, that you would probably do for free if you had to. And then going from 3-13 the previous year to 13-3 in the regular season, and then 16-3 and winning the Super Bowl. One of the greatest feelings ever. Cried like a baby. Cried like a baby. All the champagne and all that, cried like a baby. So, yeah, it was awesome.
Hey, we watched that game. I remember because you ran got some punt returns, correct?
Quick return, yeah.
Did you score any punt returns for touchdowns in the NFL?
No, I never made it to the end zone. I had some long returns, kickoff returns, very few punt returns, but kickoff returns. I think my longest was maybe 57. Got caught from a guy. Guy ran out of bounds. He got forced out of bounds. He
Okay.
ran down the sideline and then came back on the field and caught me from a blind side. I ain't seen. Um, one of my greatest achievement, other than winning the Super Bowl, individual record wise, in '95 with the Jets, I led the NFL in average yards per kickoff return.
Yeah.
My average was 27.7 yards per return. So didn't make it to the house, but I was getting 27 to 30 yards a clip. So, but yeah, man, just that Super Bowl, man, just the way we did it, how bad we were the year before, and then to come together as a team and dominate the league the way we did, it was awesome. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
it was awesome, man. What was your number? You were number 14, right?
14 in high school, yep.
And 14 in baseball, right?
14 in baseball, yep. I think I was even 14 in
14
basketball.
in basketball. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember 14.
Yep.
And when did you change to 24?
Well, first I changed to 21 when I went to college. So,
Okay.
none of the senior who had 21, he was the senior safety. He had
Mhm.
21. He graduated. They gave me 21. As soon as I earned a starting job, they said, what number you want? I said, prime time, Deion Sanders. I want 21.
Right.
Yep. So they
Yeah,
gave me 21. So I was 21 all through college. I was only 21. I made it to the Hula Bowl. I was Hula Bowl defensive MVP. I wore
yeah.
21 there. I'm looking at my jerseys. In
Okay.
NFL Europe and Amsterdam, I wore 21. And when I got to the Rams, somebody had 21. Dexter McCleon.
Okay.
He was a
Okay.
starting corner at 21. So they gave me 24.
There it is.
Yep. And I think I was 36 with the 36 with the Vikings and 32 with the Bengals.
So, with all that that you've accomplished over the years, all the blood, sweat, and tears, where has that led you to now?
So all that, it taught me perseverance. It taught me to be tough. It taught me to never give up. Don't quit. Have confidence in yourself. Believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, right? That's allowed me to transition from playing football. I stopped playing at 35. And now at 35, what you gonna do next?
You're right.
Got into the school system. I was like, look, I'm a people person. I want to coach. So maybe I'll go back to Princeton, coach, and then get into the school building and try to mentor, help some of the younger guys, talk to them about some of the things that I've experienced, some of the things that I've been through, how to persevere, be an example, be a mentor. That's what I did. That's how I got back to Princeton. Once I got back to Princeton as a coach, I fell in love with coaching. It's the next best thing to playing. And after 7 years at Princeton, I spent 7 years coaching college football. Central State, Miami of Ohio, my alma mater, Indiana University for 1 year, and then University of Central Arkansas. And that University of Central Arkansas was the last time that I coached in college because we moved here to Indianapolis. My wife took a job with, at that time, Angie's List, and eventually she moved over to Salesforce. And I knew she was not going to leave Indianapolis because she loved Salesforce. And in order for me to continue my college coaching career, every 2 years, we probably would have to move around. So I committed to just stop coaching and be here with my family.
Yes.
So it's like starting all over again. Okay, now you're in Indianapolis. What you going to do? Let me hop back into the school system. So I got into the school system again, became a high school math teacher. And after 3 years, they asked me to be dean of students. For the past 4 years, five, going on 5 years, I've been the dean of students, dean of culture at a charter high school here in Indianapolis. Again, whatever it is, whatever the situation, making the best out of it, finding my avenue, finding my lane, and flourishing and making it work. And my hard work, no matter what the field, dean of students, math teacher. When I first moved here, I didn't have the opportunity. So I said, let me get to learn the city. I did okay money-wise. So let me get to learn the city. Let me drive this Uber for a minute so I can learn the city. So for about a month, I drove Uber just to make a little bit of cash until I found something and to learn the city.
Yeah.
I always got 5 stars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
I know that.
always had candy and breath mints in there. You know, I had
Yeah.
my truck. I always had a movie playing on my video screen in the car. You know, just different
Yeah.
stuff like that. I always smelled like grown man cologne up in there. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just learned how to fit in and do what you're supposed to do. Never been super overconfident. I'm confident, but I'm not arrogant. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I'm down to earth. And now all that, my 3 younger sons, 15-year-old
Yeah.
sophomore Aiden Carpenter, my twins are 11, going on 12, Aubrey and Dawson Carpenter. They've been playing football for 4 years. They're going into their 5th year, and I teach them how to be level-headed, how to be confident but not arrogant,
Yeah.
how to be hardworking, never give up. They all are learning from me. I've coached them from 3rd grade for the twins, 6th grade for my older son, all the way up to now. And right now, I'm the varsity high school safeties coach. My son is a wide receiver. Look for that name, Aiden Carpenter. He's next.
Hey, big shout out, Aiden, man. We're gonna be watching you, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah, hey, listen to your daddy, boy. Make sure you listen to your daddy. You know what we're talking about.
He's gonna be bigger than me size wise. He's 15 years old, sophomore. He'll be 16 in December. Wears a size 13 shoe, 180 pounds, 6 feet tall. Faster than I
Wow.
was when I was his age. He's gonna be a monster.
Wow.
And then the twins are coming up right behind him. So for sure.
Wins coming up right behind. Man, I'm glad you letting them play football because I know initially you were kind of on the fence about it.
Yeah.
What made you go ahead and say y'all can play?
They weren't playing. Real talk. They weren't. My wife didn't want them to play, and the movie Concussion had just come out. And after watching that movie Concussion, I realized how much the NFL kind of kept things from us. And I was emotional when I watched the movie, especially that scene when the one player drove headfirst into a semi truck on the expressway to commit suicide because he said the voices were telling him to kill his family. So that really got to me. And I was like, we were in the airport watching. I was like, my kids aren't gonna play. My wife was like, good, I don't want them to play. And honestly, it wasn't me. My wife bought them a John Madden football on PlayStation 6 years ago. And they played it. They fell in love with the game. And that spring, they were like, Daddy, we want to play football. Mommy, we want to play football. I was like, So she said, well, let's play flag football first. They played flag football. We want to play football. So the deal was, she said, if we let them play, you got to coach them. You got to teach them how to tackle the right way. You got to teach them how to avoid getting hurt if they're offensive players, how to protect themselves if they're getting tackled. She said, if you can't do that, they can't play. So started coaching them. And that's how we got them to playing. So it worked out. And I'm glad I'm doing that because had they started playing and if I was coaching college football, I couldn't imagine not watching them play, let alone coaching them, but just watching them play, being there in person. I couldn't imagine not being there. So, God does things for a reason. I had a great time coaching college ball, but I'm loving coaching my boys. I got 7 more seasons. And when the twins graduate, it's a wrap. I'm done coaching.
I know that's right, man. Hey, I got to give you your flowers and clap it up for you. So before we get out of here, man, first I want to thank you, first of all,
Appreciate
for taking the time out of your busy schedule, man, and being on my podcast. But I have to ask you this. So the title of the podcast is Get Your Mind Right. When did you get your mind right?
Honestly, I got my mind right the end of our senior season. After we won the state championship, I said to myself, I can still play ball. I'm going to heal this knee. I didn't play basketball. My junior year, I was the most improved basketball player. I got that award. And the head coach, what was our head basketball coach's name? Black guy.
Coach Andrews.
Coach Andrews. Yeah. I went to him and told him, I said, Coach Andrews, I'm not going to play basketball. I wasn't going to be a starter, but I would have been 6th man off the bench, 7th man off the bench. He said, why not? I said, I got to get my mental together. I got to rehab this knee because I'm going to walk on somewhere and play football. And football is my future. And from that point on, I rehabbed, got good, ran track, had a really good track season, totally rehabbed my knee, and that's what propelled me to success at Miami when I walked on. So literally, after we had that little our banquet, our football banquet, I got academic athlete award for that year, and that whole basketball season, all I did was strengthen my knee. Didn't really have anyone telling me what to do. I did squats, leg extension, leg curls. That's all I did.
Coach Cox had you in there working out, bro.
Coach Cox had me in there. I was still small up top, but my legs were getting right, and that's what that's when I made up my mind. You know, I want to do this. I want to play football. Don't play basketball. Rehab your knee, and that set me on the path.
And one final question.
Yep.
What would you tell someone that feels like they want to give up, they just want to quit? What would you tell them to keep them going?
As human beings on this planet, God gave us the ability to do whatever we set our mind to do, flat out. And I'm not overly religious. I am spiritual. We can do whatever we want to do. So I would say, whatever somebody's going through, if it's something taxing your mental, get your mind right. I love the name of your podcast because it's so poignant. Get your mind right, set your mind on what you want, and then go do it. You can do whatever you set your mind to. You can do whatever you want to, but you got to work at it. It ain't gonna come free. Nobody's gonna give you a handout. But the good Lord gave you the capacity to set your mind to whatever it is you want and the ability to go do it. You just got to go do it. You got to want it bad enough, and you got to sacrifice to go do it.
Well, brother, that's beautiful. This has been a great honor, a great show. I'm glad I got to spend some time with my good brother.
Likewise.
Yeah, you're a part of Zone 15 Productions. You already know. That's
No
for
doubt.
life. Yeah, when this shit blow up.
I had my jacket on earlier this spring because it was still a little chilly over here. Yeah. I was on my way out the door. I said, let me rock this jacket. So I had my jacket on. I still be rocking it.
Yeah, me too. Hey, because we can't give up. You know what I mean? I don't know how to give up.
No doubt.
And it's going to blow up. You know what I mean? We have so many opportunities. And all it takes is the right person, the right situation, and then boom, and we're ready. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So again, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Peace, love, and blessings to you and your family. Good luck to Aiden this year and the twins.
Yeah.
I'll be watching. You know, I appreciate when you put up the clips and so forth.
Yeah.
Tell the people where they can find you at.
So you can find me. I'm a little bit everywhere, but my handle is at Coach Carp 21. So you can find me on some of the different social medias at Coach Carp 21. You know, I'm old head. I'm on Facebook most times, but all the youngsters be on Snapchat and Instagram and all that. But most of my stuff I'll post on Facebook. Things that have to do with my family. That's all I post. Things about my kids and my wife and all that. As we're saying goodbye, I want to say to you, appreciate you, love you, bro. Proud of you. You've been grinding from day one. Don't care if it's a podcast, the record company. I don't care what it is. Concerts, doing events for everybody in the zone, Woodline. So keep doing what you're doing, brother. We gonna do this thing till the wheels fall off.
Till the wheels fall off.
No doubt.
Hey, Carp, we signing off for Carp. Kool can get your mind right. Hey, y'all have a great evening. We appreciate you all tuning in. We got some great guests coming up next. So, hey, we love y'all. Y'all have a great night. Holla at your boy. Peace.
Stop wasting your time. I'm going for mine to the end of the line. Never said it was easy, but steady I climb, staying focused in the limelight. Get your mind right. Time flies, stop wasting your time. I'm going for mine to the end of the line. Never said it was easy, but steady I climb, staying focused in the limelight. Get your mind right. What makes you listen? Are you making a choice? Is it manipulation or is it the voice?